Hello, it's Julie Rothwell here from artyheaven.com. I am jumping on to do a live this evening. So I've been doing a series of lives actually this week. I've jumped on a few times and shared quite a few just stories, snippets, experience that I have encountered. We've covered all sorts really, from a bit of a roundup of what's been happening. We've been touching on the healing effects of art and fear. It's a big one that came up yesterday. We've been sharing, so there are some other videos that you can go back and check out if you like, but I did promise that I was going to share some of my original artwork this week, and I've got some pieces that I have currently put out on a sale price. So there is a reason for that, so I'm going to explain what that is all about here this evening. And yeah, I'm going to show you some pieces up close, and yeah, we'll just talk a bit of art and share some of what has been going on. So there's a reason that I've been sharing. I'm going to share these, and that I've put these on sale. So I don't do sales with my artwork generally. It's just not something I do, but I have decided to have a select few pieces of artwork that I am putting on sale this weekend only, and there's a reason for that as well. So there are a couple of pieces that you might have seen before. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this. I think sometimes I've got my phone on my holder here, so sometimes I will kind of pick up pieces of artwork and kind of show. Other times I think I'll take my phone off and walk around. So it's going to be a bit of just an unusual, a different art thing this week. So one of the things we covered yesterday was just art and fear, and like sharing art, talking about art, and also buying art as well. And one thing that I've encountered, so I've been painting and sharing my work for about 12 years now, and one of the things that people often say is they're a bit like, I just don't know what to do, and they don't know how to share their work, or they don't know how to, even if somebody wants to buy a piece, they're just a bit like, I don't know what to do. So I thought I'd do this as well, just as an easy, accessible way. A lot of people go into art galleries and they find it's a bit intimidating and daunting. So yeah, this is just really informal, rough and ready. What I started out to do at the start of the week has completely morphed all week long, and I set these timescales as well. One of the things I covered yesterday was public accountability, and so I set these timescales and they were a bit tight. So it's done is better than perfect, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to share a couple of pieces to start with that you might have seen before, and then I've got lots of art pieces that have probably, unless you've been to one of my art studios, you've probably never seen before, because I just haven't shared them online. So I can see some people joining. Thanks for jumping on. Hopefully this will make sense, and the lighting in here actually isn't great, so I'm hoping you'll bear with me. Right, now let's work out what's the best way to go here. So what I've got as well is I've got a link with all of these pieces on, so in a little while I will actually share the link in the comments, so if you want to go and look a bit closer, you can do. But I'm going to kick off with two pieces that you've probably seen before. So one of them is a piece called Chakra, and it's a series of, so these pieces along the back. It's a series of 8 pieces, obviously to do with the chakras in the body. They're designed, obviously, I've moved house recently. I'm in temporary accommodation, and displaying them is not my usual, not how I can normally do it. So you have to excuse the way they're kind of laid out on the bed. But if you can visualise, they're designed to kind of go along a wall with quite a lot of spacing between them, and they can either go horizontally or they can go vertically as well. So I've had these pieces on my site for a little while. I'll show you a little bit closer actually, and more slowly and up close. If anybody's got any questions, put them in, and also if there's a piece that I've skipped over a bit too quickly and you want me to go back, then feel free to pop in the comments as well. Now, this piece has been on my website for a little while. However, there was a glaring mistake. So I'm going to share a link in a little while, and you can go and have a chortle and see what I did. But I'd actually shared this piece at an exhibition, an online exhibition, and I had missed one. obviously 7 individual pieces of artwork, but I'd only shared 6 on the photographs. So that is why they're being included in this particular sale, because it means for me to share them again. I've basically got to take everything out of the wrappers, re-photograph, and it's very time consuming. So when you come to, when I share the link shortly, you will see that what should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 individual pieces. Actually, on my website there were only 6 there. So that's that is piece number 1. So yeah, you might have a smile when you see that. I'll put a little comment in the comments as well below. So I've taken quite a big discount off that piece for that reason. So you'll need to go to the link. I'm going to share that below shortly. I'll start sharing some work, and then I'll post the link, and then I'll finish off the rest of the video. So, and you can go and scamper away and have a look. If you're on my newsletter, you've already got the link to the pieces in your inbox. I sent that went out at 5 o'clock this evening. So you can go and have a look already. You're ahead of the game. So I've got some pieces here today. I've uploaded half of the pieces that I'm going to be sharing, and I'm going to do another live tomorrow, and I'm going to share the remainder. So there are more to come. So the next piece that I'm going to share is this piece. So this is a piece called Mermaid Spirits. You might have seen this piece before. She was up in my studio. Now there's a story behind this piece, much more of a story. What I had planned to do, I had moved into this beautiful great art studio. I had secured a carpenter who was making me these big bespoke panels, and I was planning, my intention was to drop the small scale artworks that I've been doing and to start going really large scale. So this piece was designed, it was going to be this is obviously a portrait format. The intention had been it was going to be a big landscape, quite an abstract piece, large scale. Anyhow, intuition had alternative ideas, and I got to the studio. I had gessoed the board. It's got 2 layers of encaustic gesso on, and let me turn it back around again. I'd gessoed the board. I'd started putting down the base white underpaintings, and then just something really strongly was telling me to turn it up into a portrait fashion. And then this woman just emerged. She kind of came out of nowhere. It wasn't planned, wasn't really intended, and I absolutely love her. She kind of gives mixed feelings. I think she's a bit of a Marmite piece. You either love her or hate her. Some people are lukewarm. Other people have just like literally seen it and just stopped and literally stops them in the tracks. But she does have, it's quite dark in here at the moment, but also the other reason that this piece is going into this sale is you can see quite small accommodation at the moment, and not small, but I don't have my big art studio anymore. I don't have the space to store, so this piece is going into this weekend's sale that I'm putting on as well, and that's the reason why I just don't have the space to store her. And also I just have the one large scale piece. I did her. I was all set to get going, and then 2020 came along, and we all know what happened then. COVID hit, and everything just shut down. And then during that time, I left my art studio as well. So along with it were the large scale pieces of artwork. So she's a complete one-off. I haven't got any other outlets. If I work at this size at the moment, it's only to commission, which I'm happy to do, but I don't have any others in stock. So I have had this one big piece. So she's 180 centimetres high, taller than me, 180 centimetres high by 90 wide, and yes, so she has been included in this particular sale as well. So I'll just try and, if I stand, you'll get a bit of a gauge. If I stand beside, I gone wrong way around. Turn my camera. That is how tall. So I'm not terribly tall. I'm 5'2", but she is taller. Oh, hang on. Taller than I am. So she's quite a presence in the room. I can't, you know, the size of the rooms here, I'm not that tall to, you know, it's not wide enough to stand back that far. But yeah, definitely. She's definitely a presence in the room. So that is that piece as well. Now, let me come on to the next one. What I'll do in a moment is I will share the links that you can actually go and see these on the website as well. The next ones that I'm going to share are, so we'll do these two framed pieces here next. So I have these two, they are, now, did I write the sizes down? It all got into a bit of a hurry. I was doing an interview this morning and time just escaped this afternoon, and then my iCloud packed up for a short period of time, so I wasn't as far ahead with loading the images as I'd hoped. But these are two individual pieces, so they're called Midnight Blue. I'm just going to see if I can find the sizes of them. Hang on, bear with me. Excuse the rough and ready. I did say this is going to be a bit chaotic, but all good. Hopefully you will bear with me, and this is where I need a second set of hands. 76. Right, let me just go to the page and I can tell you the measurements then. Yes, Midnight, so it's 70 by 59 centimetres. So there are two pieces, so there's Midnight Blue 1 and Midnight Blue 2. So they're framed, so the actual frames are 70 by 59. Should probably just get my tape measure out and that'll be as quick to share. And the image is 42 by 30 centimetres as well. But these are, I love these pieces. What I'm going to do now is, let me put my phone back in the holder and then I can, oh, hang on, show it around the other way. Hello, I can see some people are jumping on. Thank you so much. Right, we're scrambling with tech here, but we're running with it. So, I love these pieces. They are, I can't see how, here we are, let me try and show you up close. So these, I've done quite a few of these over time. These are this is one of the larger pieces that I've done. Or I have done a bit larger than this, to be fair. So they're kind of like a fantasy landscape scene. I don't know if you can see, so you kind of, I don't know how well it's showing up in this lighting actually. I'm going to do another one of these lives tomorrow at 12:30, so it'll be daylight then and we won't get the reflection hanging in. Let me try and get the better angle. Oh, do you know, when I practiced this earlier, being daylight, and then I've got comments coming on people watching below and I can't see what it's saying. Anyhow, I will share the links in a minute so you can go and have a look. So there's kind of sky in the background and you've got the middle ground with sea in, and then you've kind of got this foreground with these sort of reeds that come up through. But they're really, really effective from a distance. Now, let me put the glasses on. I can't see up close with my glasses on, and then I need to put them on for distance. So I say there are two of these. You can buy, you know, they are available individually, but they do look fantastic as a pair. I did actually have these, full confession, I did actually have these hanging in my last house at the top of the stairs. After I moved out of my art studio, I put them up and they just looked stunning. We had like a slightly, it was kind of a mauvey kind of coloured wall, and they just looked amazing at the top of the stairs. But you can even see just with the colours in this kind of room behind. You can sort of see how they might look. But the two together really were great, and they received so many amazing comments. And I just hadn't shared them before. I just liked them so much. They were in my studio and people did come in and they viewed them, but I just felt it's time to share them with the world a little bit more. So those are those two. What I'm going to do while I'm chatting, I'm going to see if I can share this link for you, and then you can start to see. You can see them up close, because what's happening is the reflection of the evening, and then when I was showing you those, the window behind, now that it's turned dark, I'm going to pop the link into the comments below on Facebook. Bear with me. and then you can go and have a look whilst I'm chatting. All being well, I should see myself on here in a sec. Here we go. I'm live on my computer, as long as we don't start getting... There we go. Right, I've just posted that in the comments below, so you should be able to, if you go to the comments, you should be able to see, hopefully. If somebody could let me know, that would be really helpful. Thank you. So, right, let me do the ones that I've got uploaded onto the website. And as I say, I do have more pieces that I do intend to upload, and I'll be looking at those tomorrow. So, we've done Chakra, Mermaid Spirits, and then Midnight Blue 1 and 2. The next pieces that I was going to share, so this is I've actually got two of these, so there's Ice 1 and Ice 2. So they can work as a pair together, or they can be, can go individually. I really like them together, so you can see it. Brilliant. Thank you for letting me know. Thanks, Zoe. Yeah, so they can kind of go together, one above each other, one side by side. Again, when I was doing my house up in Hertfordshire, they looked great actually. We did put them up. Well, obviously I needed to get them framed, and then we moved house, so they didn't happen. But we were looking at places. I always put my artwork around the house, and I can kind of just visualise it in place. Obviously, I can't frame every piece of artwork that I have. So, but above the bed, just offset either side, we had like a big white headboard, and then offset either side. They really did look amazing. Really kind of just brought the room together. So there are two of those. They are, the mount is 51 by 51 centimetres, and the image is 26 by 26. So there was actually a bit of a story behind these. So I was driving to where the inspiration for these two came from is I was driving up to my studio. It used to be, I don't know, 20 minutes drive to get to my studio. Got in the car and it was bitter. It was a really cold day, and I got in the car, went to turn the engine on, and you know when you can't see through the windscreen at all. It's completely white, and you know those beautiful patterns of ice that you get across the window. It took me ages to defrost the car, but that's kind of where the inspiration came from. Now I got to my studio, I'd forgotten all about it. I defrosted my car, carried on, and then I'd started playing on my hot plate, and these often, sometimes I'll really start off with an idea of exactly what I'm going to create, but other times it's quite intuitive, and then whatever comes out. And that was the case with these. Anyway, I always take photographs of my work, and I was looking back through the photos at the end of the day, and it wasn't until the end of the day I realised they were almost carbon copy patterns of the ice on the inside of the windscreen. So, hence the name of these two. But they're quite calm and sort of serene. So they are, yeah, they're quite calming colours really. But they do have that little splash of blue. And then what I'll do tomorrow, when we're in the daylight, or go to the website and then you can see. But they have got. I'll just show you one here. They have got silver in them. If you kind of catch them in, yeah. Hang on. I might need to take the camera off the holder again, but there's lilacs, light blues, but there's quite a lot of silver going up through as well. And when that catches and glistens in the light, yeah, I'll turn the camera around and then you can see, because I can see it reflecting this way, but not to show you that way. If that makes sense. So let me show you. And then what you'll see when you look on the website, hang on. So let me show you the silver piece. Where are we? Yeah, so if you can see, you have to kind of catch it in the right light, but as you walk around the room, of course, when I'm trying to bring it onto camera to order, it's quite tricky. But as you walk around the room, you get these really lovely, glimpses and flashes of silver running through as well. So these were quite loose. So they were painted, so I've got a lovely big A2 hot plate that I use. So they're quite loose, so they were designed to not have really kind of crisp lines in them, but they're just quite soft and nice. And when they have the frame edging around, they're pretty cool as well. So let me turn this back around. So that's another 2, so that's ice 1 and ice 2. I was going to say something now. I was talking about silver. If I say that I was going to do something or say something, please pop in the comments below and help me out. My brain today is fried. This was a bit of a tall order doing this in this way, but it's been fun. And it's good to do something different. It's just a different way of working. So I've got one more piece at that size. And that is this piece. So again, it has the silver running through. So this piece is called Calm, and this is a series, so I've got some larger ones of this size in a moment. I'm going to show you. These were a series that I did on a hot plate. I was doing an exhibition up in Oxford actually, so I did a little selection of, it was 5 or 6 of these, maybe 7, I can't remember, 7 or 8. Anyway, I was on my hot plate and I did a load of them. That was what I was going to say. I knew there was something. And the reason that I've put these particular pieces in the sale is that I was doing the exhibition. Everything got wrapped up into cellophane and I was in a real hurry. And I didn't take photographs of the actual pieces, and that's why I put them into the sale. It's because for me to now photograph them, I've got to take them out of the wrappers, re-photograph, and the wrappers, the backings are, let me show you, so you know, they're all kind of cellophaned in, wrapped in, and it's a pain to do that. So and also when pieces go to exhibitions, they always have their particular labels on. They've got to be put here, they've got to be put there, and then you get sticky label marks. Let me find you an example. You get sticky label marks like this, and every individual piece has to be labelled and what have you. So, and you know, when I send pieces of artwork out, I like them to look immaculate and pristine. So the reason I've kind of had these just floating in my studio is that, and I haven't put them on my website for these reasons. So by doing this, there's an opportunity to get some really great art, and but also it's a bit of a win-win. So I don't need to unpack them and re-photograph, and you get some great original art that yeah, on a great price. So let me find these bigger pieces down here. So I have got 5 or 6 of these. These are, let me find the dimensions a moment. Actually, I might put my phone back in the holder. Right, bear with me. I'll put my phone back in the holder. I'll play this back tomorrow and have try and refine things a little bit. As I say, I've been my practicing earlier was fine in the daylight. Evening light has changed. So these were kind of all about sort of moments in time, and just kind of looking up close and in detail. This particular piece is called Nanosecond. It's 61 by 61 centimetres. It's a really nice kind of monochrome colour, but it's just, so I'm going to show you the other pieces as well, but they're really kind of just capturing just like a moment in time, really. Here we go, I've got the dimensions on this one. So the images in the middle are 33 by 33, and the main mounts are 61 by 61. So there's 3 or 4 blue ones and a couple of red ones. I'll show these in more deep, yeah. If you have a look on the website, I'm hoping that you will be able to see a bit better on that link that I shared below. So there are 3 of these. So again, these were taken to the Oxford Art Fair, which absolutely loved. It was the most incredible experience ever. But as I say, because I was getting ready in a little bit more of a rush, I didn't photograph them, and that's why I'm putting these particular ones into the sale. But I just think they're beautiful there. So these are all originals as well. There are no prints that I'm sharing here. Right, here goes one. There are no prints. They're all originals, and yeah, just means that you can have a, you know, you get, you know, original art. I just don't do prints of my work at all. This piece is called Pink Blush, again the same size. So these are, so actually I haven't said too much about the medium that I use. So if you haven't seen my work before, I specialise in painting with beeswax, with hot molten wax. And people often, excuse me, something's stuck in my throat. People often ask me a lot about the medium. But you apply it as you would in any, you know, any other kind of paint form. And once it's solidified, you apply it hot, and then once it's solidified, you know, it cools into its finished form. But you know, this size is great. It's they're 61 by 61, but kind of, you know, once you've got a really nice frame around the outside, they can look absolutely great as a, like, you know, big statement piece on your wall. Excuse me, sorry. I'm just going to grab a quick glass of water. Gone down the wrong hole. So a lot of these encaustic pieces are actually done on paper. People often ask me about how they're painted. So these ones that I've shown so far, apart from the big mermaid spirits, they're painted on a particular specialist encaustic paper. So they're quite flexible. And yeah, so these are all mounted, or they need to be mounted and framed. So all painted with, let's say, hot molten beeswax. But then I also have, so I've got 3 of these. These aren't on the website yet, they will be on shortly. I'm going to need to take the camera off to show you the colours on this, so bear with me. So these are painted on wooden panels. Ooh. Let's hopefully, okay, so we're starting to get a bit of a shimmer. You can see more of the shimmer on these now. So these are actually painted in multiple layers, and try and get the right angle. Hopefully you can see that. So there's quite a lot of texture on these pieces. So they've actually got dried flowers and grasses in the middle. There are multiple layers of beeswax and a resin. I've got pan pastels on the top. We've kind of scratched back into the wax in places. So they've got loads and lots of texture and interest in them. I've got this piece which has some beautiful gold leaf on the top, smaller piece, and I have this piece as well which has a bee with a queen bee on. Now, so these pieces will be added on tomorrow. So this was really rough and ready, trying to make it up. It's been a really good learning curve because I practiced today in the daylight and evening light, glasses on my head, trying to get the phone to focus and everything. It's been, yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge, but it's fine. So anyhow, I'm going to share I've shared the link below. Go and have a look on the website. If you have any questions at all, please do ask. If you want any advice on framing, or if you think there are, you know, if you've any question at all, I mean, whatever comes to mind, just feel free to ask. Either pop in the comments, send me a direct message. There are, you know, really happy to answer any questions. I've got some more pieces coming tomorrow. I've got some smaller pieces as well. So if there's a piece that you really like, then do message me. And yeah, I'm gonna keep these relatively short so they don't go on for too long. But look at this, beautiful. So these will be added tomorrow as well. So this is like an A4 size. So hopefully tomorrow at 12:30, Saturday, we will do this again, but without so many reflections. Reflecting off the light. But as I say, do look on that website. I will continue adding more pieces. if you want if you want closer views or anything, then do so. But the reason that I've done them, the reason that they're on the website at prices that they are, is because of this. They've all got cellophane around them, and they're ready to ship. I just don't want to unpackage them all, and it's just a bit of a win-win, really. Gives you an opportunity to share some and see some amazing artwork. And also the other thing, if you saw some of the videos in the week, don't ever be afraid to reach out and ask any questions. I'm really happy to help. All sorts of questions come up, so please do reach out and ask them. Anyhow, right, a bit rambly, a bit chaotic, but never mind, it's all good. So I'll continue to refine this. I'll add some more pieces tomorrow, and I hope to see you then. And don't forget to check out the link, and you can see, keep checking back as well. You'll find more being added as we go. All right, take care. Bye.